This is a great story. So this is 19-year-old Lloyd Martin, who became, they think, the youngest person with Down syndrome to run in the London Marathon last week. This is a very, very, very nice clip of him and his mum. So there we go. I watched the sort of I saw a bit about Lloyd and his mum before the marathon, and sort of training for it. They're so close, him and his mum. I love it. And then, obviously, with all the stuff you've got, it would have been, however hard it is to run a marathon. And I can only imagine you've done loads, Steph, and I've done none.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got to be harder again if you've got, if you've got Down syndrome, and he just gets on with it. When he finishes, there's a look in this video that his mum, she gives him, the one look she gives him, the pride in her eyes is unmistakable. It's such a lovely clip. And then obviously they got a lovely close bond. And I just thought, we've talked about this on the pod before, but when you see things like this, if you've got Down syndrome, or if you've got members of the family with Down syndrome or friends, things like this make a real difference, because they just let you show that you can achieve stuff, and that door's not closed to you. And there's the more things you can do, and the more things you can see that you're able to do, the better. So for him to do that, I mean, I got nothing but admiration for the bloke. I mean, I wouldn't want to think about running 26 miles. You've done it.
Yeah.
I will never do it.
Blows my mind anyway. So
it does blow my mind.
No.
Ivo, bloody
no.
He pushed Rosie Jones round the course.
Yeah.
3 hours 36, and he's pushing an adult. 3:36,
pushing an adult round.
Jesus Christ! And Ramesh did it.
Insane. Yeah.
The first marathon Ivo ever ran was 3:17.
I know. Yeah.
Like, he'd never run one before.
No, he is nippy. No. The first time he ran it was 3:17. And then he's done others since, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to push Rosie around, and he did it at 3:36, which is fucking madness.
It is fast.
But, I've just got such admiration for this.
Well, Lloyd's mum's obviously a runner.
Yes. Yeah. I think
because I don't know anything about her.
I saw an interview on BBC News with the two of them sort of prior to this. I'd said a few weeks ago I met Lloyd at the park run in Cardiff.
He's Welsh, is he?
He did it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And his mum has run a few marathons before, and Lloyd wanted to join in.
Brilliant.
So he just said, how about I can kind of target this? And I think that there were some places available via, I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of charity there were places available with. So they applied for it. They got the place, and then they've been training. What I like about it is that they've been training together.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, sort of during lockdown, my eldest got into a bit of running and started doing some charity runs and we just go out running together.
Oh, man, I'm so envious.
Sometimes you chat.
That's lovely.
And sometimes you don't chat. And sometimes you sort of... I like the ones where sometimes you just don't even need to fill the silence. And it's not awkward. It's just you're out for a run and neither of you want to talk about stuff that's happened that day. And that's okay.
They're just with their dad, mate. When you're with your, it's lovely.
That was a really, really enjoyable time. So I can only imagine what that experience has been like for his mum, because she'll have loved every one of those runs.
I'm trying to get Ben and Ellie into like things that I could do. So I try to get him into golf, but they weren't into golf, and I've tried to get him into. They like the things that they do, but I can't join in with my daughter's ballet class, right? Or a
not
dance
anymore.
No. With Ben, like the closest I've got is if I can. I keep saying it, but
you've got the rugby though.
Yeah, and I think maybe if I can pull my finger out, I can play a bit of touch rugby with him, maybe, because he might play for the distant pod team we got there.
Distant pod 7.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But I'd love to train weights with him, but he wants to do his own thing with the weights. And I get it.
Okay.
He's the age where he probably wants to go in there and just get away from his parents for an hour.
Yeah, there is that now, I think, yeah.
Are you spotting him, though?
I will go and spot him sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, I had a bloody phone call about 6 months ago. Luckily, my phone was on, and it's usually off in the house. Or the ringer's off anyway.
Yeah.
Ben, and I knew he was in the gym. I was like, what?
Help.
I was like, oh, what's up, man? He went, can you come down quickly? I was like, oh, fuck. I ran downstairs, ran across into the gym. And I hadn't told him, like a twat, not to use the lap pull-down machine, right? Because it hadn't been fixed to the wall at the top.
Yeah.
It had tipped, and he was basically holding the whole machine up.
Fair play.
I thought, oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. But, I mean, I'd love to train with him. That would be brilliant. So if you go running with your kids is fantastic.
Well, Lloyd's running with his mum. I love that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I love it as well.
That's fantastic. I'm just going to let Izzy in because she's forgotten her keys. Hang on.
That's perfectly cool.
I used to play a bit of golf with my folks. That was the thing growing up when I was a kid. And that was nice. I played squash with my mother. Probably my mum. And my dad. They're both really competitive. Mum kicked my arse in squash. My first time I ever played.
It becomes not fun.
I never played the game before. She went down to the basement. We had the 2 old Slazenger Royal Crown wooden squash rackets, right?
Yeah.
When I bought a ball, went on the ledge centre in Barry. She kicked my arse and went bad, and I gave her a squash.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
And then golf. Dad was always, off 7. He was a much better golfer than me. Mum was a better golfer than me, which really pissed me off. But to do something that is, you can do together, I think is lovely. I said this Saturday, weirdly, why don't we all go down to the shop, buy bikes for the whole family, and we can go up the Taft Trail, the 4 of us.
Mate, nothing better. That whole trail, whether you're going sort of...
We live right on it. We're right there.
Down to the bay, or whether you're going further up. I rode up to... Well, I rode up to Merthyr eventually with the kids, and it sounds mad.
Wow.
But it's actually not that far. If you stop at Ponty, there's like the lovely cafe by the Lido there.
Oh, see?
So you sort of stop off there, have
I'm
sandwiches.
going to do that. Fuck it. I'm doing
and
this
then
weekend.
just keep on going. Then we got the train back, and it was just really nice.
Because Ellie now she'll take the little BMX, Ben's little BMX out in the back garden and ride it around. Carl's always said she'd like to get into it. I've got a bike there which I've never ridden. So yeah, let's get a couple of more bikes and we'll go on the Taft Trail and we'll do stuff together as a family. Because I just think, watching her then, those two out there training, I'm not speaking for her, but when your kid's got Down syndrome, and if your thing's running, you must at some point think, no, well, this is not something we're going to be able to do together.
Yeah.
So when you realise that it is something you can do together, and then when he finishes the frigging London Marathon,
Yeah.
my God, what a feeling!
That's amazing. And you see a lot of sniffy stuff sort of around times. So I think what Ivo's done there is fantastic for me. That's a really impressive time. What's mad is people who will never have it in them to do a 20-mile training run, a 17-mile training run, who are then slagging off people who are finished, because they have the finishing line on the Mall until a certain point.
Yeah.
And then I think they move it over to one of the parks. I don't know London well enough, but a different park. And there are people sort of walking the finish, and people are just like taking the piss. And you're like, God, what's wrong with you?
Even to walk 26 miles is...
I know.
It's
if you're taking the piss, that is...
0.1% of the population will run a marathon every year. So fuck off.
Yeah.
What time do you do? Fuck off. What time do you do?
But also, mate, you're 26. People chuff for their 10,000 steps, and I am when I do about 10,000 steps in a day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's...
How many steps is it, Steph? Do you know?
I've no idea. I've never looked.
I do right now.
I'm not really I used to be a times person, and then I started doing longer distances than marathons, and you realise who gives a
How
fuck?
many steps in a marathon?
Who cares? Who cares how long it took you?
Yeah.
What are you comparing yourself to? Because if I compare myself to Paula Radcliffe, I'm always going to feel sad.
Moses Kiptonewi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did an interview with Hitcham El Garouge the day before I did the first marathon that I did. And I said, have you got any tips for me? And he went, yeah, when are you running it? I went, tomorrow. And he just laughed and walked off. Of course.
Well, there we are, mate. If you think take 10,000 steps, it's hard to get 10,000 steps in an average day.
Yeah.
You have to make a bit of an effort to get 10,000 steps in.
Yeah.
So if anyone's slagging off people for walking any part of the marathon, if you walked the marathon, you would have done, as a bloke, average bloke stride, 55,500 steps.
Whoa.
If you're a woman, 63,000 steps.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind. Like when you see people walk at the end of a marathon,
Yeah.
they've done a week's worth of your walking, if you walked every day, which you don't.
Yeah. In
In
however
one go.
many hours it took them.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Shit.
Yeah, no, it is an odd...
I'm glad they moved that now, so they don't shut the course. They used to shut it, didn't they? And then bring the cars back on. And
Yeah. Which is, it's harder. But they've got people who walk with them as well now. So they've got
Great.
these sort of back marker walkers. And that's someone will volunteer to do that. And somebody might have, lots of people just tear muscles. So you get to, 20 miles.
God, stop at that.
And those
point,
last
sorry.
6 miles then, you're doing it
Yeah.
for a charity. You feel the responsibility that you've got to finish it.
No?
'Cause otherwise, no, I don't. You've already paid, guys. Have a look and you just give him page and see I was going to finish. But yeah, so they've got people who walk with them and chat them through it.
I think Ramesh matched his funding as well. Do you see it?
Good lad.
I think he raised
fair
20
play to him.
grand. I think he raised 20 grand,
Yeah.
and then he matched it, put 20 grand in.
Oh, that's really.
Oh, fair play to him.
He's a top boy, Rom. He's a nice fella.
Yeah, I like Rom a lot. There's a guy at my gym has been a marathon runner since the 70s,
Yeah, I'm feeling
and he's still running them. And he's... but he...
Does it that long? Fuck it up.
Fucking things, sort of
I mean,
guy.
I could do that.
There is a
And he
limit
always-
to what I was saying earlier.
And he loves it.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about you running the Milan Marathon and the pace setter and the traffic. And he said, oh, New York is a shambles. He said...
Yeah, it is.
He said, compared to London, he said New York is a mess and really poorly organised.
It just takes forever.
He said
You get
Boston's
the boat over-
serious, but
Yeah,
New York is a
boat to Staten
shambles.
Island, sit around in this army place.
And you're offered a load of
to
donuts.
go. Yeah, I was sitting there eating donuts.
Yeah, that's what
I
he
was
said.
there for about
Can I just
2
do that
hours
bit?
before. Donuts and coffee. It was wicked.
I mean, don't
You
get me
loved
wrong.
it.
I think I'd absolutely smash that bit. I've got to sponsor you to do that.
I'm
What
in.
are you doing, Mike? I'm eating donuts for Kidney Research Wales.
I'm on Staten Island doing it. It's actually been quite a hard week.
Magic. Well, Tanny Gray Thompson was saying there that she thinks it's the best marathon in the world, Lund, because they get the wheelchair athletes and they get the women, do the kids run beforehand and everything, and
Yeah.
it's all at the same time. It's all the same track. It's all the same. You've done a few of them, Steph, but
Yeah. No, London's right up there.
Is
I
it?
would say the atmosphere at New York's great, but the organisation's dog shit.
Yeah, that's what John said.
Chicago's wicked because it's flat. So those people who are concerned about times are just like, yeah, let's go. So that's quite fun.
Is
Milan's
London quite
mental.
flat though, or no?
It is quite flat, but there are a few little hilly bits. So New York is the hilliest thing I've ever done.
Really?
It's horrible.
Have you done
The
Paris?
bridges are huge.
Is
The
it
bridges
Manhattan?
are massive. Yeah, it's up through Brooklyn, which is all
Oh, okay.
uphill, and then but every bridge is a massive hill because the bridges are actually huge, as it turns out.
Have you done Paris?
I haven't done Paris. No. I might do Berlin.
Oh,
That's on my list.
that'd be good.
That's on my list of things to do. Yeah, so that might be happening.
Wonder if they're listening.
Yeah, no, they're listening. Don't worry. People are chatting. It's good.
So well done. I wanted to say well done to Lloyd and his mum.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
well
was
done, Lloyd.
yeah, great clip.